Yeah, JTV0919. You see? You see? Right? So look, man. Let's just cut to the chase. We cut to the chase. I've been seeing videos floating around. No, look, there ain't. Boy, I've seen videos going around, yeah, yeah, and it's like they're trying to say, like, you know, Africans versus Caribbeans. I mean, the fact that someone even decides to do a video, right, and be from the continent. I mean, honestly. So let's not. We're not gonna. You know, you had what, Gina Yashia, yeah. In many cases, people talk, say things about Caribbean people, and for some reason they always talk about Jamaicans. You know, right? Now the question you must ask yourself: how can someone that lives on a continent compare themselves to someone on an island? Right? It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Right? You come from an entire continent and you choose to compare yourself with islanders. Well, honestly, you see how this thing has got. So I'm telling you, man, we ain't got no unity, you know, man. We ain't got no unity, bro. I tell you, I don't even say bro. Cause them man are my family. Them too wicked. All right, look, maybe it might be for views and whatever, right? Maybe for views or whatever they want to do, or what kind. I mean, you know, there could be many. I didn't even watch. I don't even watch the videos. I just see I see the titles. I don't watch them. Like if they're not mocking Jamaicans, and I'm like, but hold on. How could you come from a continent and you're gonna start mocking people that are from islands in the Americas? You have to ask yourself that. I know why. To be honest, they should really have been ashamed of themselves. The position that we found ourselves in, not much shame and dishonor. And that said, even that said, times we still show signs of greatness. Signs of greatness. Signs of greatness. people may say, you know, there was one other video saying about the you imagine UK blacks, no, UK Caribbean versus African. Oh my gosh. See, you mean to tell me, right, that you come from a continent, right, and you come to an island, right, and then you're going to talk about other islanders, right? The damage, the mental damage is beyond repair. Beyond repair. It's beyond repair, man. So let's spin it round then. Let's spin it round. So why they don't like Jamaicans? Well, I tell you, what don't I like about Jamaica? What I don't like about Jamaica, right? Right? What I don't like about Jamaica, right? That they don't appreciate what they have. You don't appreciate. Now, look, that is easily said. You really have to look at people's upbringing, right? And also, what happened on that island? Right? A lot of trauma. Right? A lot of trauma. On that island. A lot of trauma there, man, because you know, they call it survival of the fittest. You know? So the descendants we have today, you know, they are just a either. Man, orchestra. Hear there. Play it again, Sam. See what I mean? Why sometimes when you decide to do something good, beware. Beware. Right? You'll find yourself neck deep in it. So there is that. There was a golden period in Jamaica, and it wasn't. Look, there is no such thing as Jamaica. You know, there is no. I mean, we have an island called Jamaica, but it is and it was still is an English colony. Right? You look at the old footage of Jamaica, and things were somewhat unfair, but there was there was some hope. There was some stability, right? There was some stability. Okay, there was some stability, right? You know, you could leave your door open. My grandma told me that you could leave her door. They'd leave their door open. You just go to the next neighbor, and now that doesn't mean to say crime and things like that is wasn't present. It obviously was present, right? But nothing like, for example, today. Now again, you must bear responsibilities for your own actions. Yes. But you know, that said, the person who's telling you that, are they right? Are they? So there was a time when crime was relatively low. And there was a sense of hope. And there was you see, Jamaica suffered like what many they suffer like many. And a lot of it is external. It's external. You see, it's external. It's not internal. It becomes internal, but it is external. Yeah. Right. One thing destabilized Jamaica was politics. Politics and the Cold War. Yeah. The Cold War is another factor. So another one would be crime. You know, the crime. Yeah, the crime. It's not nice to you know, because I know it's such a nice place. Such a nice place, man. You know, such a nice place where they are. And there is nicer places. There is nicer places. You see. Unfortunately, we suffer from trauma. And until we look at the trauma, then there's no way to fix a problem if you don't know you have a problem. Right? So that's one thing. So we spoke about crime. So you had the brain drain. Right? Much of the talent in Jamaica was taken away. Much of the talent. So there was a brain drain. Okay. It was a brain drain. You know. And again, why would your enemy want a strong Jamaica? Why would they? They're going to make it as hard for you to succeed in self-determination. Self-determination. But that said, Jamaicans have done extremely well. They've done extremely bad in some circumstances, but they've done extremely well from a little small island in the middle of the. I mean, come on, is that what it is? Is people jealous? Yeah. So there is a sense of, lack of unity. That could be another thing. But it's fair to say I can't really say that there's that much I dislike, because whatever I dislike is that's not being Jamaican. That's not their fault. The problems that you see or the things that they do, that's not really them. What you're looking at. What you're looking at is a hybrid. The Jamaicans are a hybrid black man. Not the only ones, but I'm focusing on Jamaica. Right? Meaning, right, they created Jamaica. Jamaica was created. Right? Was created. So, for you to look at the creation, you're supposed to attack the creator. You're attacking their creation and not the creator. Right? So, saying that, if anyone that they dislike, which I mean, I have said it in the past. I have said it in the past, because of some people I met, and that was not on the island of Jamaica. I can say Jamaica saved me. Saved me. The people of Jamaica saved me. They saved me. Man, they saved me. Right? And most of my experiences in Jamaica, it became the experience. Wow, I mean, how do I put it into words? It was a life-changing experience. It was a life-changing experience. The people I met, the country. Oh my. Right? So, there may be another thing I dislike. Well, may say about the criminality again. Now, look, some people, they may commit a crime. Now, again, yes, you have to bear responsibilities, but that didn't start here. So anyone that came to say the UK and done a crime or whatever, is not. The crime in itself was leaving Jamaica. That's what my people don't really understand. You see, that little island right? Believe you me. Have I ever been anywhere that I felt like, yeah, it could, you know, I mean, I can't, and I mean, look, I can back it up by a lot of facts as well. Just check the tourism in Jamaica. Yeah, the tourism. I'm not the only one, right? Okay, Jamaica is people who go to Jamaica and are not Jamaican, or people go on holiday. They know how beautiful it is. You know, they love everything. They love the vibes. As soon as you come off that plane and that sun hits you, and you see all the palm trees by the Palisados, yeah, right, and you see the workers on the tarmac, and their skin is glowing, not sweating, but you can just see, and then you just start to drip in sweat. You know, I'm a man, I kiss all the tarmac when I go to Jamaica. Yeah, you see, I kiss all the tarmac, man. I will kiss the tarmac. You know, then you're driving, you know, then, oh gosh, then you got the, you got to pick up your bags, yeah? You got to pick up your bags and that. Oh, Lord. Well, you know, and it's so hot in there. I think they've done up the airport. But when you used to go in, you used to be drenched in sweat by the time you got your bags. Your bags used to take forever. And then you'd have to go to the customs. Oh, Lord. But could I say that it's anywhere worse? If that's the worst? No, it's not the worst. It's not the worst. And then they stamp your book, and then they tell you to, you know, they do that old hand over the shoulder and they may kiss their teeth. Bless them. And then you walk out the airport. Then you have the carrier guys. They're dressed up in light brown khaki shirt. I think it's brown. The porters, you know. So you put your thing on your you know, right? And then they wheel you out of the airport. Okay, they wheel you out the airport. And when they wheel you out the airport, it's just a flood of people, and you look for your relatives, right? And it's so joyful. Bring tears to my eyes, man. Trust me. Then you put your suitcases in the car and you depart on your destination. Now, my destination was the eastern part, so we'd have to drive through a place called the Junction. You know, you might, you know, but before that, you go through Kingston, yeah, different parts of Kingston. And I remember driving by, is it Rockfort, by Rockfort? And for me, I'd just be looking out the window, and looking at the people, you know, looking at the people. Wonder what he's doing there. Wonder what she's doing there. Or, you know, wonder what that little lane goes to. This and that. You're just overwhelmed by what you're seeing is visually. I can only describe it as if someone, you've had on dark glasses, and then someone takes off the dark glasses and you can like see again, you know what I mean? You know, it's so vibrant. It's unbelievable, right? And obviously you got to get something to eat. You know, you get some nice food, yeah. Okay. You looking at the landscape. Oh, the landscape, you know, the windy roads, the buses, the bad driving. I mean, honestly, it's is full throttle. Full throttle. Ask any experienced traveller, and they'll say that they've been to Jamaica. I'm not talking about no little novice, you know. But about experienced travellers. Right? And then you finally reach your destination, and you're getting the smells. You know, the dogs are running up to me, and you know, all my dogs and that, or when I'm coming through my area, someone always spot you. Oh my, you can't hide, mate. You can't hide. Right? Someone spot me. Yeah, and by the time they spotted me, everybody in the area knows that I'm in town. You know, I'm in the place. It's just joy. It's just joy, man. It's joyful, mate. I'll tell you what happened one time, right? We went to go and buy a hat. I don't know why we did these things. Anyway, we were in the country, so we decided to go to Kingston. And we went to Kingston, and some of the guys that live in our area, they have, you know, like clothes shops and shoes, you know. So everybody knows Jamaica. They, you know, like to get the latest fashion. I was at school at the time. I'll never forget the day. I stood up there, right? I was downtown, and all of a sudden, gunshots start fire. Right? And boy, so the shot started to fire now. And then I saw this crowd of people running towards me. Guess what I did? I ran with the crowd. And when I ran with the crowd pushed me round the corner. And when I went round the corner, I looked up. And I see this guy running across the road. And he done not a somersault, you know, when you do the rollover on the floor. He rolled over and faced where he was running from. And when I looked over to the other side of the road, there was a security guard with a big pump action shotgun. And he's leveling it at the guy. And I hear crack, 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 crack. So when I hear that now, I was pulled by my shoulder. I was pulled. And my brethren know who it was, man. And he said to me, when you hear gunshot, don't run. And it's a learning. Life is about learning. Life is not about you know everything. How could you? As if. And I get a lot of teaching, you know what I mean? And I always give I could never ever come up here and have a bad word to say about it. You're mad? No, because it wouldn't be true. It wouldn't be true. You know, learn. You're learning. You know, you're learning not to be an English boy now. You know. And I was known as English, which is fair play. You know, because I was not born in Jamaica. There was totally a difference between me and the other guys the guys that were living in Jamaica. But one thing, right? I wasn't gonna deny my roots. I couldn't deny my connection to Jamaica. You know, right? Remember my dad used to play records on a Sunday, rice and peas on a Sunday, in the UK and stuff like that. The music, we acted like something just flying past. I wonder, must be somebody walk past. I'm telling you, man, some strange things are happening. So, remember going to school and our haircuts, our fashion. Most of the music we're listening to, was of a black origin. Yeah. Okay. We had that connection. Fair play. We didn't have immediate. Was anyone from Africa immediately in our group? Not really. But there wasn't as many African children, right, at the time, right? But I don't ever think we've never had a problem. No, 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 no. Never had a problem at all. The one thing we all knew, we were all black. You know what I mean? We're all black. Okay, and then the African, the this looking at Africa, that came later, and that just shows you how damaged one can be without knowing how damaged you are. You see. You know, it is a big regret for me that I wasn't, I've been on a plane. I've been on many plane trips and none of them have ever taken me to Africa. That is a shame in itself, man. Because I truly love that place, man. I love the people. So it's a little bit disheartening when I see that we don't seem to have moved on. We're going backwards again. We're going backwards. We're going backwards. And we're drifting further and further away from each other. You see? We're drifting further and further away from each other. So the reason why I come up today for this, because I'm gonna have to watch this with you, but I was laughing, but I shouldn't have laughed really when I saw this video. But let me put it up. It's a video about deportees from Jamaica. Right, so let me run the video and then I'll talk afterwards. Give me a second, please. What one is it? It's I've got brain fog now. Oh, here it is, TVJ. Yeah, let me put this so you can see what I'm doing. TVJ. This one is present. Share screen. What's this one now? You're gonna see something here, right? I should be able to see it, but I have to put it up. I always forget. Okay, right. Now, let's look at this video now. What is it called? Where are the authorities? Yeah. So someone's asking where the authorities are. I had to laugh because, right, and it's not funny because let me see. Where are the authorities? The authorities. I'm probably not spelling that correctly, but oh, look at this. Now, as soon as I saw this guy's face, I don't know why I started to laugh. You know. And I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't not in a. Forgive me for my facetious behavior. No, seriously, I can be. Boy, I become me fiercey enough. Me fiercey. But I don't know what made me laugh. Right, it's a serious situation still.
Where are the Jamaican authorities? The question being asked by the attorney representing a Jamaican pastor who was recently deported to Eswatini by the United States, and even as 64-year-old Junior.
Now, just that by itself. Just that by itself. Did he just say a pastor? A pastor, right? A pastor. So, if you're being deported, I mean, unless, you know, you haven't done any crime, but I mean, honestly, so you mean you're a pastor? You know, I mean, to be honest, look, you know, some of them are nothing but a criminal, right? But so let me give you a little heads up on what's occurring, right? And why I had to. I said, why? So apparently, criminals will be sent to Jamaica, right? They'll be sent to Jamaica from the United States. But these people that are being sent to Jamaica are not from Jamaica. They're not from Jamaica, right? They're not from Jamaica. And it is concerning. It's concerning to the people of Jamaica. And I mean, honestly, can you know what I mean? You mean to say, look at the size of America, right? Look at the size, right? And you mean to tell me you're going to deport people from your country that are criminals, okay? And they're not even from Jamaica, so Jamaica just become a dumping ground? But look at this one. Look at this. This is why I had to come up. Look at this one. They've deported the Jamaican man to a country called Eswatini. I'll soon come back. Commercial break. So, Jamaica has a problem with crime. Yeah? And again, I'm not going to cover it up for people. Yeah, I'm gonna cover it up. But Jamaica don't make any guns. They don't make any cars. Yeah, they don't produce no cocoa. Right? They don't produce that. But yet still, guns is a big problem. But that's all coming from America. Right? Or Haiti or whatever. And even in Haiti, they don't make guns. Right? So you got the suppliers of gun. Then you got motor vehicle. Then you got the motor vehicles. They don't make no car, but they love drive them. Right? And some of them drive, well, I tell you. Well, that's another time. I have to tell you about the time when I was in a traffic crash in Jamaica. That was terrible, man. Let me tell you. Serious. Right? You see what people like talk about. I never wish anything bad on no one because I see that for myself. Like this, and I don't like blood. You see, and I've smelt blood, fresh blood. Yeah, I've seen the carnage. I've lost people. I've lost people. I nearly lost my life in that. So that's one there. Right? So you got the guns, right? You got the cars. And I can't remember what I said to the other one. Right? So the crime, it needs to be addressed. But that is what happens when you let external people, right? That's what happens when to a black nation of people, right? That you know are governed. Yeah, they're governed by the UK. Right? And the reason why I say America, because America seemed to come and say what America is doing and have done is just follow the English, the British way, yeah, and domination and that. So they look at themselves as being the new improved English, yeah. So they bear a lot of it, a lot of that stuff that's going on. But this one here, I just honestly, you know, we got enough criminals, right? Okay, we've got enough criminals, and then you have criminals in America. They're not being sent to Jamaica. They've been sent in somewhere else, and then America are sending people from other countries across the world to Jamaica.
Where are the Jamaican authorities? The question being asked by the attorney representing a Jamaican pastor who was recently deported to Eswatini by the United States. And even as 64-year-old Junior Alves waits for what's next, he does not want to return to Jamaica. Deidre Thomas reports.
For many, a journey to a new country represents hope, opportunity, or a fresh beginning. But for 64-year-old Jamaican national pastor Junior Alves, it has been marked by uncertainty, fear, and unanswered questions.
It's fair to what did he do? What has a pastor done for him to be deported from America? That's what I want to. But wait till you hear him talk. What?
Was among 11 people deported by the United States to Eswatini on July 8, 2026.
Starting out from the get-go.
As anyone, I mean, I thought I knew most of the African countries, but that one got me. I thought, where is that? Eswatini. right? You know, it shouldn't be allowed. They shouldn't be allowed to, send places become a dumping ground for criminals. And some of the countries that they're sending them to, right? They're trying to build up. It's wrong. But I really don't know what. And he don't say what he done, Anyway, let's run the video. But I mean, honestly, a pastor, a preacher, being deported from America finds himself in Eswatini.
Where are the Jamaican authorities? The question being asked by the attorney representing a Jamaican pastor who was recently deported to Eswatini by the United States. And even as 64-year-old Junior Alves waits for what's next, he does not want to return to Jamaica. Deidre Thomas reports.
For many, a journey to a new country represents hope, opportunity, or a fresh beginning. But for 64-year-old Jamaican national pastor Junior Alves, it has been marked by uncertainty, fear, and unanswered questions. He was among 11 people deported by the United States to Eswatini on July 8, 2026.
Starting out from the get-go, I was wrongfully picked up because of what has been going on with ICE and picking up people. I think I was wrongfully picked up in the crowd.
It was only after that process was underway, he says he learned his destination was a Southern African nation.
I began to question, like I said, the question, and then somebody said, the officer turned to me and said, Mr. I'm sorry to say, but I think they're going to take you to a country. I don't know where they're going to take you, but I think you get deported. I said, stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me. Please stop playing with me. So I said, no, I'm serious. However, you can talk to an ICE officer. Lo and behold, I seen an ICE officer say, you're going to Africa. I said, Africa? Oh.
I mean, the man nearly had a heart attack. The man said Africa, Even that. I mean, honestly, because, you just, I mean, so the ICE agent, say maybe some immigration, he's saying that he got picked out of the crowd, which could happen, which is unfortunate. And he's been sent to this country in Africa, yeah. And you got to listen sometimes, and you hear what he said. Africa. Why? Luciana sang it. He said, "Give me a one-way ticket. Give me a one-way ticket." But it become a thing where you don't even want to go home. You see, going home seems to be something that is not good, right? So whatever this man has done, I don't know. He's not happy about being sent to Africa, right? And I agree that he's why don't they just send him back to Jamaica? He doesn't even want to go back to Jamaica, he says. But then you're taking them to Africa, and then you're also sending prisoners to Jamaica.
On earth, you want to send me to a place where I got my family in Fort Lauderdale, my 7 kids and my wife. They are going through so much already. My daughter is talking about committing suicide.
You see what I mean? Nah, you see, you boy, I tell you, man. They call something called the belly of the beast, man. Believe you me. Nah, I mean, come on. Man have 7 children and all that. I mean, he's a pastor and that. I mean, wow. That You know, I take back what I said, man, because boy, this is it's heartbreaking what you just said, man. Man got 7 kids. All of his family's in Fort Lauderdale, so they've moved to America, right? And they're not sending the man back to Jamaica, they're sending him to Eswatini. And I'm going to leave it there. You see what's on your screen? Imagine what mash up the man family. So, you see? There's not much more I can say on that, you know, because it's just a tragic situation, man. It's a tragic place we are. JTV.